It's time now for the award-winning #1 local talk show in Northeast Pennsylvania, The Sam Lesante Show. Now here's your host, Sam Lesante.
Welcome to the Sam Lesante Show, my friends. November 7th, keep on telling you it's a very important day, Election Day. Candidates have been on this show. They have telling you all about them, their experience, etc. City of Hazleton, the mayoral race. With me today is the current mayor, Jeff Cusat. Jeff was on the show before, talked about different things. As you know, we had other candidates on. They did their spiel. Jeff, let's talk about the city of Hazleton. You know, last show we talked about how many years your family has been here and what you've accomplished. We're talking about what in the city of Hazleton right now, in the last number of years that you've been the mayor. Let's talk about the progress that has been accomplished.
I mean, the progress, we've really tried to go after. Like when we came into office, we heard the concerns. They were basically no recreation, no potholes, or no streets. There were potholes everywhere. And people were about the loitering downtown areas and the crime rates. So, we took it, and our first priority was recreation. And I think as everybody could see, we focused on recreation. We have revitalized playgrounds. We created new playgrounds. We have comprehensive plans for playgrounds in the future. Like, we really tried to give somebody somewhere to go. If it's not in one area, it's in another area. So we really kind of reached out, focused on every group of people in the city and give them what they wanted. So recreation, we really tackled it, and we're doing well. The paving, we're on a more aggressive plan than ever in the city. The city is made up of 114 miles of road. We're responsible for 99. And we currently have completed 44 miles of that road. Next year, we have scheduled 2 miles of road plus the creation of David Avenue and Cunningham Drive up in the Heights area. The reason next year is going to be a little bit lower is we're waiting for some of the utilities to be completed in the northwest section of town. So 2025, we have scheduled between 10 and 12 miles of road. So we're going to continue this aggressive approach on paving. When I came into office, there was $0 in the budget, in the general fund budget for paving. We now have $200,000 in the general fund. We have $200,000 for stormwater management. There's about $200,000 in CDBG and about $200,000 in liquid fuels. So there's $800,000, which is equivalent to paving maybe 1 mile of road.
Wow.
Depending on. So what the city was able to do.
How'd you get the money?
During COVID, a lot of the projects were coming in cheaper, so we started putting out, because the state canceled a lot of the projects, so we were able to turn that into our advantage. So we did use future allocations of community development money to do certain areas of the city. We got an LSA grant to do the Heights. The Heights section of town is not eligible for CD money, community development money, because it's not low mod. So the Heights and the Heights Terrace have been neglected for 40 years. So we were able to use grants, and then we also used allocations of the liquid fuels money. So that's why we focused on that section of town. We used CDBG money this year to do the northeast section of town. And then on the northwest, we're going to use ARPA money because it needs a lot of stormwater repairs need to be done to certain streets in that area to separate the combined source. So we're focusing ARPA money on that section. So we really kind of been putting things together, and I believe we spent $14 million in the last 5 years to get done what we did. So we are aggressively attacking the roads. We'll never be able to pave 114 miles of road complete like that, because by the time you get to the end, the other ones are deteriorated.
How do you determine what roads you?
Well, we focused on the concentration of the usage. Main thoroughfares we attacked first, and we went up. And then now we're working on a 20-year plan, because we feel most of the roads in the city will withstand 20 years of service. Mm-hmm. So after we're done and we're done with all the mains, we're focusing on trying to break the city into 20 quadrants and then be able to pave them on a regular basis. And certainly there'll be some streets that need to be done more often. I mean, but we do accept that we only have like 800,000 now allocated, and we will have to look to increase that number in the next several years. And we should be able to increase that in the next several years because of the EIT tax coming in. We're starting to get more jobs. People are getting paid higher. EIT tax has been bringing in more revenue than before. So hopefully that continues. When these developments are complete, we'll be getting the jobs. So then their EIT tax will, come up to the budget. Right now our current general fund budget from property tax is about $6.2 million. Our overall budget is $14 million. And then we also have the liquid fuel, the community development budget, the airport budget, recreation. So there's, our budget is broken down into several, semi-smaller budgets, but that's the focus on. So they're the two main things we really focused on.
When you looked at the city when you came in and where it is now, there's a lot of things that have happened in the city. You mentioned some key areas. We talked about recreation. I mentioned on one of my other shows with the councilman when you talked about the Parkview,
City View Park.
City View Park. Some people have never been there, and so they went up there and they happened to see me here at the mall or a mall. I said, Sammy,
that's a destination place.
Yeah, they were very impressed.
I mean, we have pavilions for a couple hundred people, the inclusive playground, the dog park. We have the walking fitness trail. We're planning on putting in a concession stand that's going to be run by the recreation department for the events. We're looking to put in a full-time ice cream shop with miniature golf, a different type of bike track, a skate park, fitness equipment along the trails, a trail through the wooded area. So there's a lot of plans in the next few years. We're hoping to be able to continue that and make a destination park where, people talk about Hazleton, oh yeah, City View Park. We are going to be announcing next year. Everybody heard of Rock in the River.
Yeah.
We teamed up with the Luzerne County Bureau of Visitors Bureau. Yeah. So we're going to have 3 concerts up at the park next year. Rock in the Mountain. So we're going to combine with them, and it's going to be up at City View Park. So we're really looking to make the destination place.
One of the things that contender to be mayor mentioned about transparency.
That's one of those key words that come up every election. You're not transparent. You're not transparent. You don't tell us what's going on. I open my doors every Tuesday. We meet with the solicitor. I welcome city council to come in and sit in our meetings and to learn. Jim Perry does come in on a regular basis. He said that Lauren Sacco came in several times when she was on council, and they sat and we filled them in. I'm not going to go home at 7, 8 o'clock at night and call 5 council people on the phone. Hey, this is what I did tonight. When a project is close to completion, we will inform council as needed. Or they could come to some of the meetings and sit in. I know the point of contention right now is to purchase the Godstein building. We held a big conference up at the fire station in June of 2022, where I put together a PowerPoint presentation. All of council was there, the fire department, the police department, the fire companies, and I introduced the project to everybody at the same time. Jack Mundy was there. He asked me questions. The same questions he's asking me now. Said he didn't know anything about it. He was there. He sat there. And we all knew about it for a year. We talked about it at city council when I put the deposit down on the building. It was questioned, how much did you give? We gave a 1% deposit to hold the building for us. So they know what's going on. I don't know if they don't pay attention to it all the time or, but there's so much going on at the time. Like, I can't call you and tell you about all the potential projects that are going on because probably 90% of them fail or never get off the ground. So,
why that building?
Because it's a central located on the main street. It was just remodeled. We're moved in. We bought it turnkey. We moved right into it. The detectives are in there already. Within 1 week, we were able to put the detectives in there. They have 3-foot thick walls downstairs, which is perfect for our armory and our bomb squad stuff, the artilleries. It's just set up so perfect for what we want to do. And it'll be a minimal to get the rest of the police department in there. But we want to try to limit the amount of foot traffic coming into City Hall. You know, a lot of people come to City Hall for the police department, for parking tickets. So those two things we wanted to move out of the City Hall and make City Hall more for services. So the police department's at its all-time high. We have 48 officers. We have 3 officers in school that will be graduating, 51 all-time. They take up 28 parking spots outside.
Yeah.
So we want to get them out of the way, give us a more strategic place to work, and be able to expand our police department even further. So we'll be moving the police department down to 15th Street. We're going to be moving the parking enforcement down to the transit building. Again, it's easy in and out. You'll be able to pull in, walk in, pay your ticket, and go. If you want to buy a reserve spot, handicap spot, you go right there, fill it out, and you don't have to come into City Hall, walk 2 blocks to get to City Hall, and focus more on services for people coming in. You know, a few years ago, I mean, Berkheimer's been in there. So current taxes, you've been able to pay in City Hall for many years. 2 years ago, I brought in the delinquent taxes because there was so much confusion. People paying taxes, oh, you have to go over to Cedar Street. No, you have to go over to City Hall. So I brought them in, and that was the first step. You know, I was always hoping to be able to bring in the Water Authority, the Sewer Authority, and the county to collect money. You know, so I was able to work for several months now with the county, and we're going to open offices, the row offices, Central Court, gun permits. Like, why should the people from the southern Luzerne County have to drive all the way up to Wilkes-Barre every time we need something?
Yeah.
Like, it's just not fair that we get the short end all the time.
Well,
So
you're recently negotiating now with the county, right? They're bringing some.
we negotiated a rent, that the rent that's going to come in, the revenue that's going to come in from the county is more than enough to pay for the expenses at the new building, at both new buildings. You know, and this is not only the only thing we're looking at, is like the city owns the old post office, the federal post office on Cedar and Broad. You know, we own it. We wanted to bring in Argel, or Senator Argel, our State Representative Watrow, and there's 3 areas that back there that we're going to put tenants in also. Again, services of the people. You know, we want to make it very simple, one-stop shop, not drive all over and wait for people. So we're focused on making services available for the citizens of Hazleton.
So this Cusat building wasn't nothing that was done behind closed doors. It was very transparent.
No, we talked about it several times. We said we were going to be putting in for a grant. If we don't get the grant, we're going to find funding. And I said I was probably going to use ARPA money because it's available for gun violence and to make separate workspaces for people. It fits the category.
Did anyone object at the time about going in that location?
No, they just said, let us know when it's going to happen. And I told them we had a closing date set for December 31st of 2023. I told them months ago. I told everybody months ago. It was in the newspaper. You know, we closed 2 months early because we wanted to be, the county wants to be able to move into City Hall and do business January 1st.
Okay, so you don't have to put thousands of dollars in renovation in this building?
We put nothing into it as of now.
You just turnkey, right?
Turnkey. Godstein made a beautiful place in there. They moved their corporate headquarters there. And then I kind of asked him if we could still purchase. So he started building a new building. But we walked right in, turnkey. We changed the locks on the doors, is what we did so far.
What do you think, Jeff, right now, you know, here again, there's so much going on. And I know the feeling. When I was chairman of the board of the college, we opened it up to all the trustees with meetings, but yet there was a lot of inner workings that we had to do to put, you know, when we build the college. So I could appreciate that. And people don't know the insides. Why did you do this? Well, we've had public meetings and we would give as much information. You feel you've been doing that, correct?
We do. We give the information. We don't hide anything. You know, anybody's welcome to come. If I told City Council for years, David Sosa, I tell him, come in, put yourself on the schedule, make a weekly meeting, and he did it for a while, and it was nice to be able to talk to people.
Yes, it is.
And run things, but I need you on my schedule. My schedule's very tight. I'm in and out, in the building, out of the building. I'm on the go. You know, we're trying to build the city. We were building the maintenance facility up on the Beltway. So we're up there. We're at the airport. Like, there's a lot that goes on in this city that maybe people aren't aware of. But you know, we're the only city in Pennsylvania that owns and operates its own transit and airport and parking. Everybody else, they're authorities or they have fixed base operators out of them. We're the only one. Like, there's a lot going on in this city.
Tell me about that building you're building up at the airport. What is that?
That is a maintenance facility for the buses. We went to the state back in 2017, 16 and 17, and we asked to make a facility that we could store our buses. We own our own buses. We operate our own buses. We subcontract the drivers and the maintenance out. So it's a building that the state's paying for. They're going to turn the building over to us once it's complete, and then it's ours. And then that'll give us the opportunity for to protect our investment and to have more candidates come in to be the driver, the supplier of the drivers. So again, it costs us nothing. The only thing it's going to cost us in the end is it's going to cost a maintenance man. We have to have a maintenance man on site, and we're going to have to pay rent to ourselves. So the transit authority is going to pay rent to the city, to the airport.
Is the airport profitable?
The airport is self-sustaining, yes. We had 2 years ago, we had the only self-sustaining airport in Pennsylvania.
Now, why is it important to have an airport for the city?
It brings business here. There's people flying in and out, like these large companies that are investing. A lot of them are in Hazel Township, but that's still us. They come in here and they want easy access in and out. They can't land in Wilkes-Barre, drive up here, and go. Like, they want to be able to land their plane, get off, go where they want to go, and take off as needed. So it's important. Samsung flies in.
Not my company now, another company.
Samsung.
Yeah.
The
Kiston and his group, they build a beautiful building there.
Yeah, we have an international hub there.
Yes.
for global airlines.
And I think that's important to the city, bringing people in, corporate people in. The transit, I mean, that is, first of all, is run very efficiently.
Yes.
That's an important part of this.
It is. The transit department, when I met with the owners of Samsung and I sat down, they were worried about people getting to work. I said, I will reroute a bus line right to your front door. And he said, you would do that for us? We'll come. I said, absolutely. We will make a route, drop off at your door if needed. And we do that at Humboldt. I don't think people know it, though, because we did the comprehensive plan study, and people are like, well, we want more transportation into Humboldt. We have it. In our system goes, you stand on the side of the road, raise your hand, the bus will stop. So it's not like you don't even have to get to bus stops. You just got to get on the route, stand on the side of the road, and wave your hand.
Wow.
So we have transportation out to Humboldt, and if the individual companies want to set it up that we come to their front door, we will. And several of them have that. Mm-hmm. So we are very accommodating, and there's a lot that goes on in these things.
Folks, I'm talking to Mayor Jeff Cusat, City of Hazleton, running for re-election. Once again, you heard the different candidates talking about what's going on. We're talking about the continued progress in Hazleton. A lot going on. We'll be back right after this. Thanks for staying with us, folks. I'm Sam Lesante. You're watching The Sam Lesante Show. Folks, incidentally, thanks for making The Sam Lesante Show the #1 talk show in northeastern Pennsylvania. That comes from the Susquehanna Polling and Research scientific poll. We appreciate that very much. And also, we are very happy to be media partners with the Hazleton Standard-Speaker and the Pottsville Republican Herald. For all the results, it's election day. You go to the papers. My guest today is the current mayor of Hazleton, Jeff Cusat, no stranger to the show, and once again making an investment to bring you up to date. I guess sometimes we had other candidates on, as you know. They had the opportunity to talk, etc. And as I say, Jeff, I applaud anybody who's running for office today. It's a tough task, okay? But some of them had some things to say about you, right?
I did. I watched the shows. It sounds like both of them were endorsing me. They both said that my administration's doing a great job. They said the police chief's doing great. Joe Zeller's doing great. Everything is going so well. Why make a change? We need to stay focused on the city. If somebody wants to get involved, they can. These Mr. Castro, I put him on the redevelopment authority board, hoping he could make a big difference. I offered Bob Yevok to work in the code department because he said he could do all this stuff. He just couldn't make the commitment to working full time, which I understand. He's a businessman. So I understand people want to do good, but if you think things are going that well, why make a change now?
Mm-hmm. Well, this is a critical election. Okay, because when you explain, and they did as well, the many things that are happening in the city, uh, it's critical to make sure you get the right person in there. Why you?
At first, I think all elections are critical, but I don't think right now a change is not what we need. We have everything flowing in the right direction, and it'll come time someday to move on. But we have so many things going positive right now. We can't make that change. The police department is doing so well. The bringing stuff back into the city, bringing the county offices back into the city. Expanding and making a relationships with other municipalities that I have. The developments that are going to be building here. We need to keep all those projects moving. If bringing somebody else in now could delay projects. We have so many developments going on now. Creation of new roads that are going to expand into housing developments. We have another housing development out Club 40 Road, one on Allen Drive. There's so many projects going on right now that developers like familiarity. They don't want to keep changing. It scares them. They like working with me, and that's why they're coming here. So it's important not to just jump out there and make changes.
As Tommy Bruno and John Nellis said on the show, Tommy gets out, he talks to people, he's in the housing, he has his own properties. John has been around Nellis a long time, and they're talking to people, getting input, because as they say, no one has a monopoly on ideas. Are you open for suggestions?
I talk to people all the time. I'm in the restaurant business. People come, they go. I walk the streets also. We're out there. People come to my office. Everywhere I go, you go grocery shop, and people stop you. I listen to everything. We listen to comprehensive plans. When you don't know, when you want to reach people that you don't know or don't feel comfortable talking to you, you do a comprehensive plan. We did a comprehensive recreation program for the entire area, all the way down to 80, 81. We comprehended all, and people gave their input. We're doing a comprehensive plan now for Hazleton, West Hazleton, and Hazel Township. Everybody puts their input into those things. Yes, so we listen to people. I get phone calls all the time, messages on Facebook. I can't even answer them all now. You try as good as you can, but people call the restaurants. My sister gets mad at me. People call in the restaurants, they want to talk to me. I'm not there all the time, but yeah, I talk to people.
One of the things that we brought up is foot patrol, okay, that there's some areas that we feel that the cops should be walking the streets, certain streets, like Alder Street was mentioned in one of my shows.
We do that. We've done it, we do it, we want to do more of it. The problem is when you don't have the manpower. The times of the year that you need the most foot patrol is the summer. That's when a lot of the officers use their vacation time. They're not there. We might have 3-4 guys on a shift. If you only have 3 or 4 guys on a shift, you can't do foot patrols. No matter what people say they're gonna do, you can't do it because it leaves the officers too far away from a vehicle if something happens. Now, if you have 7, 8 guys on, we do. We do still walk. We go to the playgrounds. We walk around the playgrounds. We talk to the children. So we are doing it when we can. But staffing levels and call volume is what determines if you could get out and walk. We don't have huge numbers of police officers. Yes, we're at an all-time high, but like Wilkes-Barre, 84 police officers. Allentown, 150. New York, 15,000.
Oh yeah.
You can't compare
I
us
think you need
with
another 15,000.
You can't compare Hazleton with other municipalities like that. We do everything we can when we could.
The success of anyone in any businesses who they surround themselves with, knowledgeable people, not necessarily yes people, okay? I don't think I would have grown this company if I would have been, it's my way or no way, okay? We opened up and that's why we did a survey to find out who we are, what people like. How do you handle your people?
My people are great. I like my people. We have meetings every week, every 2 weeks, or as needed.
Is it your way or no way?
No, I can't run every department. I have my input into every department, but I'm not a specialist in everything. I could relay to those people what the people want to see, and then we sit there and we discuss. You can't run police, fire, streets, recreation, code, zoning. You just can't oversee everything. You could give your input and talk to people, and it's their job. I'm not supposed to know more than them. I'm supposed to help coordinate all of them. That's why they get paid to be department heads.
Why do you think, Jeff, the citizens of Hazleton should re-elect you as mayor?
Because things are going in the right direction. I don't know if you think back 10 years ago and remember where the city was. We were financially distressed. We were going downhill. Crime was running rapid. Things have changed. Things are going in the right direction, and people are happier. People are moving here because they want to be here. You might hear that some people want to leave, but other people want to come. For every person that sells their house, one wants to leave, one wants to come. People want to be here, and things are going in the right direction, and we have to continue that progress.
Okay. Well, like I said to everyone, Jeff, I wish you all the best of luck, because Hazleton's very important as to how the city goes. It's, surrounding towns, they piggyback. Hazel Township is doing fabulous because it's run by supervisors that are knowledgeable and know how to surround themselves with. West Hazleton, Sugarloaf, Butler Township, all the different, Freeland, McAdoo, all these different towns, if they get the right people, you can see how we could thrive. And you work with a lot of these people, don't you?
Yes, I do.
You also work with the legislators, correct?
Yes, I have a good relationship with them.
Which is important.
Yes, extremely.
Yeah. Folks, Jeff Cusat, helmet back, the second time on the show. November 7th, City of Hazleton, very important election. As Jeff said, every election is important, there's no question about it. But Hazleton, you can see what's going on, but there's a lot that has happened that I was surprised, which is quite interesting. We'll see you next time.